1.
Hey everybody, it's Mr. Whitley here with video number 2, and I've got to say it's a pretty exciting one. So I want to introduce the rubric to you for AP Argumentative Essays, and some people call this rubric the Beast. That's not really true. I literally just made that up. This rubric is a 9-pointer. There are 9 possible points. If you get a 1, that's yikes. If you get a 9, that's like, whoa, nice paper, bro. So you're looking to score 6 and up. That's really what your goal is, but we'll get into that more here in a second. So this is what the rubric looks like on paper. It's a 2-pager, and I know when you look at that, you probably, oh, excuse me, hang on. Oh, I don't feel good. Oh, bleh. Oh gosh, oh man, that's probably what you do when you see that rubric. I totally understand it. It is kind of blech. So let's get that off the screen. Good, and let's see if we can make this smaller. Oh, perfect. See what we need here. We need to give this thing some love. We need something added to it. Oh, I know what we should add to it. Me in a heart. So let's see what I can do. Okay. I like to look at this rubric as 4 sections. So first you've got your successful. That's the high-end section. That's a good thing. Then after that you got satisfactory. Nothing wrong with satisfactory. I know that some of you don't like that word, but that's a good thing. And then the next section is inadequate. And if you're like, oh, that's not good, you're right. It's not. And then below inadequate is little success, which is like big bad. I don't know why they say little success. I think they're trying to sound nice, but little success really is like little success, like such little success. Let's just stop calling it success. It's not even really success. Anyway, let's talk about how the 9 levels kind of stack up with my 4 sections. So for successful, that's going to be your 8s and your 9s. Okay, satisfactory, that's going to be your 5s, 6s, and 7s. And adequate, that's your 3s and 4s. And then down here at little success, you've got your 1s and your 2s. Okay, now the truth is, successful is an 8, and if you're really good, it's a 9. Satisfactory is either 5, 6, or 7. So 6 is really satisfactory. 7 is like satisfactory plus, and then 5 is like satisfactory, sad face. But that's still better than inadequate, which is a 4. And if you do a little bit worse than a 4, that's a 3. And then little success is a 2, but even worse than that is a 1. So your basic scores are 8, 6, 4, and 2, and then you go up or down depending on how much better or worse you do than that kind of baseline descriptor. So you're probably wondering, like, okay, well, what is an 8? It's got to be more than just the word successful, right? And you're right. So let's look at that. Whoa, oh boy, I might even throw up again. No, I can't do that. I can't throw up on a screen twice in one day. That would just be redundant. So you've got all this information here, which is just more than you need to read. So I'm going to simplify it for you. The key word for 8s and 9s is effective. Okay? 8s just do everything that an essay is supposed to do, and they do it really well, and it shows that you are a skilled writer. And then a 9, well, that's when 8s are so good that the person reading is like, I think I'm just going to pop my eyeballs out because I never want to read anything ever again. That was the greatest thing I've ever read. So 9s are like pretty ballin'. Then you got your 6s. That's your satisfactory. The key word here is adequate. Okay, 6s, they get the job done. They do everything they're supposed to do. They're like a piece of furniture from Target. You know, you're not expecting much, but it's still kind of nice and it does everything it's supposed to do, right? Well, then you got your 7s. Okay, so 7s are a good 6. And that's like when you get furniture at Target, but everybody comes around the house and they're like, oh, you must have got this from IKEA. It's really nice. And you're like, yeah, IKEA. Wink, wink. But then you've also got 5s. Okay, so 5s are worse 6s. And that's when you go to savers and you're like, oh, check out this furniture. This will totally work in my living room. Sure, it's kind of dinged up. Where did this come from originally? Oh, Target. So someone else went and bought this at Target, used it for a long time, and then gave it to savers, and now you have it. That's a 5. Okay, then you got your 4s, which are inadequate. And if you want to read all that stuff on the left, feel free to pause this video and do that. But if you're like me, you're like, just give me the key info. So inadequate, that means not adequate. Okay, so 4s, they tried, but they just didn't quite make it. And it's kind of like my dating life before I met Emily. Struck out quite a few times. And even worse than that is a 3. And that's kind of like that time there was this beautiful sorority girl, and she was like, yeah, I'll go on a date with you. And then I talked to her on the phone one night for way too long, and somehow she never picked up again, and that was the end of that story. Or was it? Only time will tell. And then you've got your 2s, which are little success. Again, little success is just the nicest possible way to describe what a 2 actually is. I think a key word here, or key words, is consistent weakness. And I know that most people, when they grow up, hope to be described as consistently weak, but you shouldn't. You don't want that. Okay, 2s are actually a lot more like my pre-Emily dating life. They were pretty much hopeless from the start, and it was really never going to get better without a serious intervention. And then you got 1s. 1s are worse than 2s, which is really not saying much. Like, you could get a 1, I guess, if you're writing and it's gonna be a 2, but then like your computer blows up, or maybe like you get hit in the head and all of a sudden you don't remember anything you've ever learned ever about writing. That's a good way to get a 1. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Wrap it up. And so I will. Okay? I want you guys to aim for a 6. When you get to a place where it's like, I can write this essay, it's going to have everything it needs in it, and it's going to get the job done, then you can build on that, and then you can start moving up towards your 7s, 8s, and 9s. But let's start by just aiming for 6s, okay? All right, you hunters, get out there and get it done.